Thank you, Natasha, for that lovely introduction to our 2 days together. Our first presenters this morning, we have two. We actually have Marcus Waring-Smith and we have Max Ploumis, and they're from Direct Energy. I'd like to welcome both of them up to the stage to present on their ground source heat pump technology in healthcare. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Thank you. I'll just give a light introduction because I want Max to go through it. Max is one of our senior and most interesting project managers because he does all the energy integration in our company, which is combining renewables. He's a renewable energy engineer. There's a few of us in the business, but one of the people who've had the most impact is Eddie Rance. He's a Canadian based designer. And in 2012, we made the decision, a joint decision, to bring Ed on as our partner to do all our design. And that turned the corner for the company. We've won awards, we've got into some very major projects. And we've managed to sort of cut down the cost of geothermal, what we think by about 40% of what it was 10 years ago. So as we move through the process of engineering and development, we're seeing that the efficiency of the geothermal is more relevant today. Max is, as I said, he's an interesting fellow. We met a while ago, and no, he's come in and said, you've got to do everything. So, you know, you do geothermal, you've got to do solar, you've got to do solar thermal. And I said, look, you seem pretty bright. And I said, oh, okay, we'll do all that. Right, so it's been a few interesting years, but in integrating all the technologies, you see where they fit. And geothermal fits as a base load technology in big buildings. And hospitals are a big building. In fact, this presentation is interesting. The director mentioned the chilled beams, changes in hospitals. This is from 2012. I don't believe a lot has changed in the HVAC space, but to give you an idea of a 300-bed hospital uses about the same energy as 5,000 homes. So that's quite dramatic. A 500-bed hospital like the New Footscray Hospital will obviously use something like 7,500 homes. So when you put that into perspective, if you can just save 1% of the energy from a hospital, you're doing a hell of a lot. You're saving a lot of carbon. And we talk about taking cars off the road, but we've just got to get the hospital energy down. So I'm going to pass on to Max, and he'll take you through what I consider is a reasonable suite of projects for you to consider.
Thank you, Marcus, for the introduction. So hopefully you get most of what I say with my strong French accent. I know I've been here 15 years, but still a very strong accent. So first today, I'll take you guys through a brief introduction of what is a geothermal heat pump system. Okay. Then I'll take you through some of the case study that we have here locally in Victoria and Southwell. I will also talk about the different drilling technologies that we've been using to make the geothermal a possibility here in Australia. And I'll also discuss the opportunities and benefits of using hybrid geothermal heat pump system. And we'll go through briefly at the end to some indicative payback period and internal return rate of return compared to business as usual system. So what is a ground source heat pump system? So a ground source heat pump system operates exactly the same way as a reverse cycle air conditioning system. So it uses very similar components, and the most important component is the heat pump. So the heat pump is a device used to transfer heat from one environment to another. So for example, if you're trying to heat this building, you'll be taking heat from outside using a conventional system and putting in the heat inside the building. Okay. Using a geothermal system is, instead of using outside as a heat source or a heat sink, you'll be using the ground. Okay. when you're trying to cool an environment, it's using the same process, but instead of taking the heat from outside and bringing it inside, you'll be taking the heat inside the room and pushing it outside. Because you can't cool a space, you can only remove heat from it, okay? The main reason that makes a geothermal system more efficient is due to the temperature difference between the outdoor temperatures and the ground temperature. So to give you an idea, when you're trying to heat this building around 20, 22 degrees, and outside it's about 5 to 8 degrees, like this morning, the heat pump will be trying to take heat from a very cold environment and bring the heat into the space here, okay? The ground temperature in Victoria is maintained about 17 to 19 degrees. So that means for a heat pump to take heat from a warmer environment, it will work a lot more effectively, okay? The efficiency increase can vary between 40 to 60% depending on the areas, okay? Sorry, can increase from 100 to 150%, okay? So there are different types and different means of heat transfer to the ground. Okay, so there are different ground loops that we can use depending on the type and the geology, the geological resource at the site, and depending also on the project, the drivers, the different system will be selected. So, for example, you can use an open loop system. So an open loop system is, we will be using the aquifer as a heat source and a heat sink. To do this, we will be pumping water out of the aquifer using either putting heat into the aquifer or taking heat out of the aquifer and re-injecting the water back into the aquifer. So there will be no actual water intake or water supply to the aquifer. It will only be used as a heat source or heat sink. You can also use surface water like a lake or ponds, and for these you can also use them as an open loop or closed loop system, depending what makes more sense for the project. Energy piles also are very cost-effective solutions. Okay, so I'll take you through a case study of this later on. So this means installing some geothermal loops into the pile of the building. Most large building needs piles on the building in order to keep the building structurally sound. And of course, the most common ground loop system that you might have heard of is, of course, vertical closed loop system and horizontal closed loop system. So to give you an idea, the horizontal closed loop system are a lot more affordable than vertical closed loop system. However, they need a lot more surface area to be installed. So you won't find a horizontal closed loop system in urban environments. So this is an example of the local project, like the Royal Botanic Garden in Cranbourne. This project was commissioned about 5 years ago now, and this project we've been using the local. There's a large lake there, and we've been using it as an open loop. So we are pumping the water out of the lake. We're using it as a heat source and heat sink, and putting the water back into the lake. Okay, this system is used to heat and cool most of the offices there and the coffee shop as well. This is a planning project that was undertaken for the University of Monash University, and this, as I mentioned before, this can be a very affordable approach to geothermal because the piles have to be installed anyway, and the drilling for the piles has to be done for the structure of the building. So the drilling is not required for the installation of the geothermal loop. However, by doing analysis, we've found in the past that any piles less than 15 meters doesn't make this a very viable solution, but piles around 20, 30 plus meters make this a very attractive, financially viable solution. This is a project at for the Ararat prison. Okay. The system, it's a full geothermal system that was installed there. The geothermal system meets the entire building and the prison heating and cooling requirement. This is a very cold area. Okay, we've been getting sub-zero temperatures, outdoor temperatures, with still ground temperature coming back from the system at about 12 to 14 degrees. We've used a district-style approach on this project in order to transfer the heat from one building to another, and also in order to transfer the heat from the different ground loop installed. So this means what we found is there is actually an office building, and there's all the different prisons located around. It's been found that in summer, actually in winter, sorry, the office building will still need the cooling load, while the prison will still need heating. So we will using this style of installation, we are able to transfer the heat from the actual office building to the prison directly. So you can achieve very high efficiency doing this, because you end up doing two jobs with one system. This is a vertical closed-loop system installed for the Sydney Light Rail bus substation. So this is quite a critical infrastructure, and it's mostly used to power the railway for the new light rail, Sydney Light Rail system. Okay, this has been running for about 12 months now, and this is a cooling-only system. No heating is actually used whatsoever from this system. So this is a brief timeline of how drilling has evolved throughout the time. The key to take out of this is vertical closed-loop system have been used extensively for installing vertical geothermal closed-loop system. However, we've evolved recently to a new technology, which is called geothermal radial drilling. So you might have noticed on the prism, that's the technology that we use there. This has allowed us to minimize the site impact, okay, and also minimize the construction program, and allow geothermal to become more viable to many new projects. How the radial drilling occurs is the radial drilling happens from 1 square meter. So it's actually, we're using a geothermal chamber that we call. It's a 1 meter diameter, and we can drill at different angles. Okay, so this means we can achieve up to 1,800 meters of drilling in 1 square meter. Okay, this minimizes the amount of manifold requirements and also the site impact, as just mentioned earlier. To give you an example, this is a job that we just recently just finished. It's called the Melbourne Connect project in Carlton. At this project, we have 2 geothermal chambers installed, as you can see on the top right-hand side. On the bottom left of the picture, you can see the site impact. On the picture on the bottom left, only 1 drilling chamber was installed. On the left-hand side, there's another one on the right-hand side near the right excavator, but at that point in time, it was not installed yet. So this shows the minimum site impact of the drilling. So the drilling could occur while everyone else will still be able to work around the drill rig. This is a comparison between a vertical closed-loop system and a radial approach. Okay, for 100 square meter, sorry, 10,000 square meter site, 100 by 100. You can see that for the vertical closed-loop system, we can achieve up to 144 bores to 100 meters, and this allows us to cover about 600 to maybe 900 kilowatts of heating and cooling. On the radial side, you can actually end up covering a little bit more, which means for the center bus area, we can achieve up to 156 bores to 100 meters and handle about 650 to 950 kilowatts. Keep in mind that if we drill deeper, we can actually end up achieving even more capacity, but this has limits as well. This the main thing to take out of this comparison is on the left-hand side, you can see that the above-ground manifold work will be quite significant because you actually have 144 pipes coming, 144 bores, sorry, coming out of the ground that you will need to connect, and this can impact the construction program quite significantly. Whereas on the right-hand side, you only have 9 locations with that comes to the above ground. Everything else is on the ground, and no one will be able to access it due to how deep the bores go to. Well, now I just want to take you guys through the reason why we've been moving toward a hybrid solution. So this is the heating load of an aquatic center, a live heating monitored load of an aquatic center of a 1 megawatt system. On this graph, you can see that 20% of the actual load is less than, sorry, 20% of the actual load is above 30, it's 60% of the capacity of the actual heating system. This means that if you had a system that could only meet 33% of the heating capacity, you would be able to still achieve 80% of the load. So what this comes to is payback period and financial feasibility of the system. This graph shows that for the same size of the geothermal system installed, the more you use your geothermal system, the better your return on investment. What we see out there in the industry right now is many consultants size the geothermal system based on the size of the project. So if it's a 1 megawatt system, 4 megawatt, they would size a 4 megawatt geothermal system. What is not understood in this case is coming back to this is 60% of that system is only going to be used 20% and 30% is going to be used during 80%. So your return on investment for 60% or 70% of your system is very low, and you only get a very good payback on a small portion of the system. So what you could end up doing is only having, for example, in this project, what we ended up doing is for a 1 megawatt system, we had a 300 kilowatt geothermal system, and we had a 750 kilowatt boiler. Okay, what this shows on the left, on the top hand side, is the capacity use of the different system. I think it was for the month of May. Okay, you can see that the boiler is meeting most. The ground source heat pump is meeting most of the heating requirements, while the boiler only comes during peak load requirements. On the bottom graph, you can see the actual energy usage of both systems. While the ground source heat pump is significantly smaller than the boiler, it still meet most of the energy requirements. So you can increase the site efficiency significantly by using this type of approach. So a typical payback period for a geothermal system is to be expected anywhere between 5 to 10 years. That's what we target, and this is how the hybrid system helps to allow us to meet these requirements. And the associated internal rate of return of about 9 to 20%. Okay. Most geothermal systems pay for their additional cost quite well. Okay, and a ground source, just keep in mind that a ground loop system is designed and installed to be minimum to have a life expectancy of about 50 years. Okay. The other positive benefits of a ground loop system is the health and environmental aspect of the system, where because they are very low noise and they don't lead to any issue that can happen with cooling towers. Okay, and a lot less water usage as well. And the carbon emission reduction from geothermal system can be expected well above 40 to 60%, okay? And higher if you're using gas. Thanks you very much for listening. If you guys have any questions, please. Any time now.
thank you for a riveting presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes. Like a new. Yeah, so this is where, so depending on the location of the hospital and the type of geothermal loop that you, the ground loop that you can use, yes, a retrofit approach can easily be done, but it also depends of your what kind of system is already installed at the site. If the system that's installed at the site doesn't match the type of geothermal system that can be installed, then the cost of retrofitting will be higher, and it might make a financial benefits. Yeah, but yes, it can easily be retrofitted, and the Royal Botanic Garden project was a retrofit project. Yeah.
I think you've got something like an old boiler that needs replacing. That would be a really good target for replacement. Probably needs land space as well, which is why I've already introduced the range.
Someone else? Yes? Yeah. Okay. So depending on the actual load, the ground loop has to be designed differently. Okay, we need separation lengths, type of pipe, all this is taken into consideration, and of course thermal ground conductivity. However, you got to keep in mind that the more balanced your load is on your ground, the much more cost effective this is. Just to give you an idea, for the same size ground loop, you could have a system that's 50 kilowatt if it's balanced, or you could have only, let's say, 5 megawatt if it's balanced, or you could have 1 megawatt if it's an unbalanced load for the same ground loop. So yes, to give you an idea, at the Sine-Rail job, this is a cooling only project, and this is why the ground loop has to be slightly oversized. So it can handle it, but it's got to be cost effective to an extent. But there's always ways normally to be able to balance this. With many projects, we've been able to balance like a lot of the load around the building.
For example, on Ararat Prison, where we had an unbalanced load, we take the heat rejection from the server rooms and we put that straight into the leak field. Right, so we're rejecting heat from the server rooms, putting it into the leak field, and that's heating the water up a little bit more to get the cold in Ararat, and that's balancing our load.
And
yeah, we've got 2 pumps and 1 for hot water, and that's the ground. We take that, put it over the heater. That ground is losing all that hot water. We've all put that. Some of them put that. We try and downsize, like we get 100% downsize. Our system is small, and that's what we got.
And keep in mind, by doing heat recycling, you can up to double the efficiency of the system, which is very, very good to do. Yeah. Yes? Most of the pipes is warranted up to 50 to 100 years, okay? And at the end of the useful life is, I will count for this, I don't know. I have never been there. It's set in the ground, yeah.
Spending big on systems that have been running 40 to 50 years, and they're still operating. So people tend to go to the lifetime of 50 years. And in buying so it gives the space to be as challenging as exposed.
Really?
People think
I know there are projects in America that they had life expectancy of 20, 25 years for the ground roof, and they've just been renovated now, and they've not changed anything on the ground roof for an extra 20 years, and the ground roof has been, that's what now they're saying, easily 50 years, because of all these projects they have had in America. Let's just not right here. Is there any problems with This is depending on the type of soil, so we will use double casing, a dry. So this is a dry rotary type of drilling. So we will have a casing that will hold the soil while we are drilling. So we don't have any issues of this yet. Depending on. Are you talking about inflation?
It's not, because your system is under pressure, so there's no air, obviously pipes can't be compressed. Right? So you've got no, we use that place before, really expensive place. Put it down and within 5 seconds you cannot pull it out. And so that's probably as serious as we've got those in Kalgoorlie in WA. But the pipes are very low lux, and when they're full of water, and they're never not full of water. They don't get pressure. Works really well.
Yes, very well. Yeah, we're getting the highest efficiency that out of significant. And that is by doing a thermal responsive test. So that's the approach in most projects. We will do an estimate. Then if it's cost effective based on this estimate, we will come in, drill first bore, do a thermal responsive test to understand how good is the ground on the site. And then we will redo the model and see if we can reduce the number of boards.
If you added your hot water to this project, it would reduce your cost of pushing the ground because they have no ability to cook and right. I'm down below. He said you can do hot water for free and we'll drop the cost of the ground.
And yeah. Yeah, so for closed-loop system at this point in time, we only need licenses to do that. So that's been very, very good. Regarding open-loop system, most of the ones we've worked on, and we've not had any issue to get the approvals, okay? Because we are not taking in the water, we are only taking heat and stuff, but taking heat or putting heat into the system. And often when we apply for a water license to extract the water, we only are allowed to a temperature differential of so much. So for example, if it's a very shallow bore, we will only allow 4-degree differential. So we don't create any environmental impact to the aquifer. And if it's much deeper, then we can allow up to 10 to 12 degrees. And that's how we've been able to get these licenses approved. No, it's been fairly consistent and fairly straightforward. However, to allow us to get a license, we need to get a hydrogeological report completed prior to the private license. We can't just apply for the license. We've got to explain what is going to be the impact of our system on the aquifer. And then the things we've opened with system is we've done a couple of them, and we are we're only doing them now unless there's no other choice. The reason why is because of the licensing approval and also the maintenance requirements. Okay, there's quite a high cost of ongoing costs for maintaining open bore loops. Okay, and the other issue as well is the cost of paperwork, like having the hydrogeology report done annually. So we need to do that and show them how it's been impacting the aquifer, yes or no. And of course, if it has been impacting, we will probably get our license removed. So we'll have.
We're just sort of advocates of closed loop because in open loop systems we've had the miners and hot springs have had contamination with the water down there, so water that just an issue. We're putting one in Geraldine quite extended in Western Australia. They had a domestic cyclone and the salinity of the water because of the amount of water extraction from the injection. Even with the net effect of water offtake of 0 the salinity of the reticulation walls went up because of this water shift.
Yeah.
And then the council ended up having to pay for the relocation of the reticulation walls a year or two later. And these are the things that I think, once you start
Kind of push us away from each other. Yeah.
an aquifer and trying to reinject it, you start sort of introducing contaminants potentially like southern water picked up, and it starts to get messy. We'd like to keep it.
And often your return on investment between an open loop and a closed loop system is very similar, except your capital investment of your open loop is a lot lower initially, so it might be more attractive, but your maintenance cost is higher. So your annual savings are not as big. And when I first started working at Direct Energy, I was very for open loop system because of the cost saving. And since I've been installing so many closed loop and not doing anything about them after they've been installed, because literally there's no maintenance, and I even feel sometimes bad, and I go and visit the site and be like, should I do something? And I check everything, and everything is perfect, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I've spent 2 minutes here, and we can do. And this is when I'm really advocate for the closed type system for sure. I cannot see why we've not been doing this. Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, one last question.
What's the smallest site project actually work for? What's nice?
So this is a very good question, very typical question. Okay, to give you an idea, for us is, I would say we would not anyone, but we get a lot of phone calls and a lot of people trying to do this for their houses and things, and I would say anything less than, depending if you can do horizontal, then you're not limited. You can do pretty much any size, and as long as, because horizontal systems are pretty cost effective. Drilling is a different animal because you need to mobilize the rig. So depending on the location and how far you are and how far or what size rig you can obtain, etc., this will vary. Okay, but I would say anything. Yeah, for commercial, I would say anything less than 150 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt. It's that's when you're at the edge of the feasibility, and anything above, the bigger, the more cost effective it starts. As long as it's the larger the system, the more cost effective it becomes. Luxury houses, yeah.
But they, you need to have bigger pools.
It's all. Yes. It's all about that graph. The more you use the system, the more cost effective the system becomes. So, for example, someone like me spend all the time of work in a compact bomb and the AP. Yeah, exactly. So I would not recommend geothermal to people like me, but yeah. But anyway, thank you very much for the questions.
Thank you, Marcus and Max. What a great start to the morning. Efficiency seems to be the key word that I got out